just gonna break one before I go. So this is, see, this is what it would look like on the inside. This is very hot. This is what it looks like on the inside. Soft and nice. See that? Need this with some jerk chicken and some fried fish. Uh-oh, I just lost a piece of that. No. Welcome again, you all, to CJ's Kitchen. And as you know, it's the baking season. It's leading up to Thanksgiving and Christmas, and so I've been baking. Also, I'm gonna make some festival for a get-together tomorrow, and I just want to quickly show you how I make my festival. I know a lot of people, you know, they find it difficult. They might buy the one in the box and they find it difficult to do, but it's not so hard, all right? So I'm not gonna measure because I don't measure, but I'll try and give you an idea of how much I'm making, right? So this is about, let me see, this is about 3 pounds of flour. No, 2 pounds, sorry. This is about 2 pounds of flour. All right, that's the last of the flour because I just baked from it. And this is all-purpose flour. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add maybe 2 cups of self-rise flour. So it's 2 pounds of all-purpose and, you know, give and take 2 cups of self-rise. Like I say, I don't normally measure. I normally just pour out. And so now this is cornmeal. This is about a half a pound of cornmeal. I'm not sure I'm gonna use all of that, so let me see. All right, probably use like a quarter pound there. Maybe that was probably a cup of cornmeal. And then sugar. So I just filled something out of this sugar, and I normally just pour in my hand. Like I said, I don't measure, so let me just put this cup here and see how much cup. That's 1 cup. Normally I just pour in my hand, like I said. All right, so that's 2 cups of sugar. And that's just based normally on my hand measurement, right? And this is salt. So I'm gonna go in with some salt because you know where there's sugar, there must be salt. This is like a teaspoon, probably 1.5 teaspoon of salt. And then we come in with the baking powder, and this is the baking powder I use, Davis baking powder. I use it for everything. And so in my hand, that's like a tablespoon, 1.5. Oops. I just measured that at like 1.5 tablespoon of baking powder. All right, so all you need is flour, right? And so to the ratio, maybe 2 pounds of flour, a pound of all-purpose, sorry, 2 pounds of, let's start this over. 2 pounds of all-purpose flour, a half a pound to 3/4 pounds of self-rise flour, like a 3/4 pounds of sugar, and a cup of cornmeal. Even though it's called festival and you think it's like normally a lot of cornmeal in it, too much cornmeal, your festival will absorb all the oil while frying, right? And this, I'm gonna go and just combine that together. And normally I use ice water to mix this, especially if I'm gonna use it right away. I use ice water, but right now I'm not gonna use ice water because I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator overnight. But I'm using very cold water from the top, but it's very cold. So we combine that. Right, and I'm using the cold water like I say, and then I just do a soft mix. And I've been doing this for so long, you all. Sometimes I have this pan filled to the top. I think the most I've done like a 25-pound flour mix at once. So because I don't measure, I'm praying that this is not off somewhat, you know. And you don't really work it in for it to get too hard, too quick. You just keep it soft. And so for this mix, I probably, listen, you just mix until you find that texture, consistency that you feel is okay for you to make, right? Alright, so after that, I don't think I need any more water. And I'm gonna get this together. And this is gonna be a little soft when I'm done. But what I normally do while I'm making it, I just dust the dry flour over it. I don't normally like, I don't knead the flour back into it, just dust it over, right? And like I said, this is to make festival in the morning for someone. So this now, and you don't want to work it too much because you don't want to get it hard. So see, it is soft. It is soft where it's actually holding on to your finger probably. But by the time you take it out the refrigerator in the morning, it will all come together. And when you're making it, you just dust it lightly with some flour, roll it. You don't need the dry flour into it. You just roll it and drop it into your pot. So this is my dough. That's how soft it is. That's how I normally make it. When I'm frying it in the morning, I'll let you see. And then the baking flour and the self-rising flour, see, it starts to rise, right? So there you go. And see, my hand is not even, you know, it's not even sticking to my hand that much. So I'm just gonna remove this to a different bowl. Put this in here so this can hold in the refrigerator. So I just remove this here. And tomorrow morning I'll show you. So for this dough, I'm gonna cover I'm gonna cover with plastic wrap, cling wrap. If only I can find the end to it. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. So this, cover this until tomorrow morning. You will see it rise. If it was that you were gonna use it right away and you use the ice water, you'll just put a towel over it and let it sit for a little bit. But because I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator, I'm trying to cover it. Okay, and there you have it. And this did not take me any time to mix. Didn't take me a lot of time to mix at all. All right, there we go. Now we put it in the refrigerator. Bye. Okay, so you might be wondering, how do I know when they're ready? Once they go in and they start to fry, they raise to the top. And if I flip them over and they get the golden color that I like to see them at, I know that side is ready. So I flip it over and give it another minute and a half or so. And you flip it over again, and then both sides is golden brown. It's normally ready, right? Because they don't really take a long time to fry, because as I said, it's a lot of oil in the pot, and you make them very thin, stretch as you go along. They get a little shorter while they're frying. So, and as I was saying before, if it gets too soft, you normally dust, because once it gets warmer, you have to dust it. It gets softer, so then you have to dust it with a little flour. So I just sprinkle the flour over it and shake it off, like dust it off. I don't really need it back in there, just to keep it, you know. Ooh, and it don't matter if it's a little distorted, it's okay. So we got some ready one here. It's a little bit over ready, but it's not burnt, it's just golden. And I can get two, and normally I just like squeeze and shake the oil off of it. So I just catch two together and I do that. I don't use a fork because I don't like puncturing my food once it is in oil, because then the oil seeps into it. Don't want to have that. So sometimes one side might be browner than one, but you will know when it's ready. All right, like these over here, see, one side is already brown, golden, and so we just keep flipping. And plus, when you keep flipping, they get really crunchy. So if you like a crunch when you bite into it, it gets crunchy. That's from flipping over and over and over. Tend to get that kind of crunchiness. And this I'm doing for church, so for a little woman get together at church, women get together at church. So it's not a lot, it's a lot, but it's not just for home, it's to go out. Sometimes I'm making festival, I make like 25 pounds a festival. So I'm a professional festival maker. So see, the last part of it, because it's not so cold anymore like when I just took it from the refrigerator. And like I said, when you're making it, you use ice water if you're going to use it right away, because the ice water does help it to raise somewhat. I think the ice water, when it connects with the baking powder, I guess, it helps it to rise. Alright, so I'm on my last leg of this, and you see those, the top of them is golden brown. So as soon as I'm done putting, you know, the amount I can hold in the pot, what I'll do, I'll flip these over. Not ready yet, and you can tell that one side is not ready yet. So you just flip it over and you can tell if the other side is not, you know, it's too light, you know it's not ready yet. So then you give it another couple of seconds and stuff like that. This one is ready to flip over. This one, you can flip it both times to get the desired color on the other side. Okay. And I'm wearing gloves, you all. I'm wearing gloves, but be careful. And I'm wearing gloves because I got nails. So you be careful when you wear gloves not to get the hot oil on it. It really can get really dangerous. So just be careful with that. Use something long enough that you don't burn yourself, okay? Okay, so I'm just gonna break one before I go. So this is, see, this is what it would look like on the inside. This is very hot. This is what it looks like on the inside. Soft and nice. See that? Need this with some jerk chicken and some fried fish. Uh-oh, I just lost a piece of that. That wasn't the plan, so I'll eat this. Be blessed.